SHN Live is an online audio and visual production company based out of Austin, Texas that specializes in broadcasting live events. Hi, I'm Carl Schoening, the Director of Broadcasting and co-founder of SHN Live. When my business partner Rob Hipp and I started SHN Sports in 2015, we made our slogan, "Your Team, Your Broadcast," because we envisioned bringing live broadcasting to undercovered sporting events as affordable as possible to schools and organizations. We started out with Georgetown ISD high schools and in 5 years have expanded to 6 states with over 30 affiliates, while also doing production for NCAA teams, conference tournaments, and even the NCAA Division II basketball tournament. In 2020, we rebranded to SHN Live as we provide resources and training for more than just sports. SHN Live is for anyone interested in any kind of online media production. We make broadcasting on our platform free, and we teach our affiliates how to most cost-effectively start broadcasting. If you have a computer, we can teach you the basics of live streaming today. If you become an affiliate, you can put on live streams that look and sound professional once you have collected all of our recommended equipment. And by being an SHN affiliate, we will provide sales support, audio and visual elements to improve your broadcast such as static and motion graphics, access to our Facebook SHN Live affiliates page, and on-demand troubleshooting and tutorial videos. You can also contact Rob or myself for help and we'll get back to you free of charge. Rebranding in 2020, SHN Live started because of one question. Why pay third-party companies hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year for live streaming when you can own your own equipment and put on a professional quality live stream at any time yourself? With SHN's platform, you can control everything from who is on your broadcast to keeping 100% of your advertisement money sold. While SHN will try to sell advertisements with national companies across the network and then give a kickback to participating broadcasts. If you want your broadcast to look and sound the best possible, we recommend getting the SHN Live Academy subscription, where we teach you everything you need to know about online media production. For an affordable monthly investment, you will get a credit towards SHN services, access to monthly broadcasting webinars produced by SHN Live, monthly broadcast critiques, access to advanced SHN video tutorials where we teach fundamentals of broadcasting with experienced professional broadcasters, and how we create our audio and visual elements so you can make your broadcast more personalized, as well as discounted rates for our services such as making those broadcast elements, emergency support calls when service can be available, and enhanced sales support for your broadcast. If you want your events to be broadcast professionally and on your own budget, fill out the form below and we'll get you set up as an SHN affiliate within 24 hours. To get started today, check out our next videos on
All right, welcome back to another Ncaa Black Cats coaching show brought to you by Ncaa Sports Network here at Joe Fridays in Ncaa, Texas. Here tonight, as usual, we have head coach, Coach Ncaa. Welcome back, Coach.
Thank you.
And guest coach tonight is Coach Spradlin. I had to ask him to make sure that I was saying that right because I didn't want to be the one to mess up. But Coach Spradlin, welcome. You're the linebackers coach for Ncaa Black Cats. We'd like to welcome you for part of Black Cat Nation who hasn't had a chance to meet Coach Spradlin. He is a linebackers coach for your Ncaa Black Cats. Coach, now we're going to talk a little bit about it, but we don't want to talk too much of it. We had a tough Salado team that we went down and played Friday night. Kind of didn't work out in our favor. Our defense did the best to be able to stop a great Salado offense, which over the years and years have been able to run that offense pretty regularly and disciplined, and we saw that again Friday night. Tell me, what was the best thing that Salado was able to get over on our Black Cats?
It really wasn't a scheme issue or anything like that. It's, those guys, like you said, they've been running that offense for a long time, and that's an established program. They're very, very good at what they do. They don't make mistakes very often, and Friday night they didn't make a one. They played a really disciplined football game. They were better at the line of scrimmage, and that's what it boils down to. And that offense, we turned the ball over 4 times in the first half, and you can't give them a short field, and we did it right off the opening kickoff. Give them a short field, kick it right in the middle, and they had a nice return, set them up, and you just can't give offense like that a short field because they're going to limit your possessions anyway, just because they eat up clock with their offense, and then. We're not. You got to match score for score and try to get them off schedule when you're playing a team like that. We weren't able to do that, obviously. But as the deficit starts to grow, well, now you're kind of out of what your game plan is offensively to try to keep the game in check, and you look up, it's 50-0 at halftime. You know what I mean? I went and talked to the kids at halftime and challenged them and said, look, man, the first half was the first half. I don't think anybody had any fun. None of us like it. But, come out in the second half, show your character, show your love for Black Cat football. And we came out, we played better in the second half. There's no moral victories. It's a loss. We got our hides tanned. And, that game only affects you as long as you let it. And so, by the time I got back to the field house and got the kids out of the building. I cleared it and let it go and started looking on to China Spring.
And that's one thing that I noticed throughout the game Friday night is no matter how bad the game might have gotten, my head never changed their scheme. They stayed with what they know best, and that's going fast. Going fast, going make a mistake, continue going fast. And that's one thing I like to see out of the kids, how their demeanor would be in a game like that, which we understand that Salado is a legitimate top 10 football team in the state of Texas in 4A football. But the kids, they kept their cool, they kept their head. Now they're towards the end of the game, we had a little bit of scrapping here and there, really couldn't tell who was initiating it, which I'm pretty sure I knew who was.
Kids playing football.
Yeah, but frustration kind of started kicking in a little bit.
I don't think we got frustrated.
Not
we
too
were
bad.
Frustrated, but I don't think we acted out or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh no.
We kept playing. We do what we do, and like we're going to play fast because that's what we believe in, and we're not going to change just because all of a sudden we're down 3-4 scores like that. You can't say you believe in something and then, hey, when it doesn't go your way, back off and do something else. Because then it's just something you like to do. It's not what you believe in. And like
right.
Like you said, we kept playing fast the whole game because that's what we believe in. That's what we're going to do.
Now, one thing that we kind of touched on Friday night was Davila, your punter. He had great pressure on him a lot of times, but you saw a punter that was cool, calm, and collective, and was really able to pin Salado deep a lot Friday night. And, that's one good thing that you like to try to do with your opponents is, if you do have to punt the ball away, make sure that your line gets a good block and your punter gets a good kickoff. And on special teams Friday night, you saw a lot of great things coming out of special teams, which we really don't touch on a lot here in the coaches show.
Right.
But, we have to give props where props are due. The punt team did a great job Friday night against that Salado Eagles defense. But pushing on into next week, we face another pretty good team coming up in China Springs. The China Springs Cougars is going to be here at Black Cat Field Friday night at 7:30. Which we're going to see a different scheming offense more than likely, which we know Salado probably threw the ball a couple more times and we were probably prepared for it because Salado's basically a run team, but they did come out kind of throwing. But against China Springs, we're going to see a lot more throwing more than likely from the quarterback. How are the Black Cats preparing for the different offensive schemes that they're going to see this coming Friday night?
Well, the guy that makes that offense go is the quarterback. And right now he's doing it with his legs. They do some things formationally to put him in a position to be successful. And all the run game goes through him, whether they're running him on the stretch or the option or the quarterback power. They're a pretty good zone team, so that opens up the zone read stuff for him. A lot of it just comes back to option football, and everybody's got a responsibility. It's kind of old school, but it all starts with the option, and then it goes from there. But you got to know what your assignment is, and we're going to do our best to limit the success that two has, and make them use somebody else to try to beat us. And in the games they played, two's been able to do whatever he wanted. And if he wants to call his own number on the option or the zone read, he does it, and he's had grass. And so, are you going to take everything away? No, but we want to limit it and set it where he's not getting the edge and not getting to that clear grass. And if he does decide to run it, he's got we're setting the edge and turning it back into where the cavalry's coming. So, they do have what I kind of call a couple of outlier type formations. And they'll get in it, see if you can line up to it. If you can, all right, they'll go back to their offense. If you can't, well, you better figure out how, because they're going to stay in it. Right. Coach Bell does a great job over there. I mean, he's a football guy. I mean, he grew up in a field house. You know what I mean? His dad's a longtime coach. Everybody knows the story of those guys. Very successful. So, we're looking forward to the challenge Friday night. It's, all we've heard the last 3 weeks is, oh man, this is a buzzsaw part of the schedule. Well, hey, it's going to be that way next year, and the year after, and the year after, and the year after. Because if you want to go be the guy, then you got to go play the guys. Like, you can't go schedule, lesser opponents and then think you're going to have success in November and December. It doesn't happen. I mean, if you look, regardless of classification, if you go look at the top programs in the state and who they're playing in their non-district, they're playing dudes, right? Because you want to go see early, hey, who we think we are, and what do we need to work on to get to be where we think we are. And so, I'm a firm believer in playing the best, and right now they're arguably the best going. I know everybody, Carthage is probably number one, but China Spring is right up there, and so is not to touch back on Salado, but I mean they're top 10, like you said, top 10 team in the state. I mean we've had 3 really tough opponents, but.
And that's one thing I was going to touch on. We know China Springs is a legitimate top 5 team, but that's one thing that I like to see the Black Cats going up against in the non-district play is going up against good caliber teams like we have Navasota, Troy, China Springs, Salado, taking nothing away against Lake Belton.
Right.
They were a pretty good, solid team too. But like you said, before we go into district play, we like to see what we have, because going into the playoff season, we're going to be facing caliber teams like this. And it's great to see what the Black Cats can handle and how they can continue to run the scheme that the coaches are calling. And, so far, we can see that the kids are feeding in to what y'all are feeding them. And that's always a positive thing, no matter what your record is going into before you go into district, which we were just talking earlier. After China Springs, we do have a away game, a non-district game against Fairfield. Then we go straight into district play against Van. So it's great to see the Black Cats going up against teams like this and being able to continue to run the scheme that y'all are calling and staying calm, cool, and collective, and doing that each day, day in and day out.
Right. No, had the last 2 games gone how we wanted, obviously not. But again, those things only, you either win or you learn. If you don't learn from it, then you lost. And so, we've learned some stuff about ourselves in the last 2 weeks, and sometimes learning doesn't taste very good, but it's kind of not the. I don't want to sound like robot Jason Witten over here, or Jason Garrett, but there is a process to it, and it doesn't just happen overnight. Like I told the coaching staff at halftime, I said, look, we're playing a program that's been together for a long time. I said, we've been together since July. Like, we're going to get there, but it doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
It takes a lot of energy and a lot of work, and a lot of hard work, and I'm gonna give credit to my coaches. They show up every day ready to go, and they're coaching with great energy and great enthusiasm, and we're coaching kids the right way. And when you do that, it turns the corner. And so, it's a work in progress. And if I didn't see us getting better week to week, I would be concerned. But it's not the case. So we just keep plugging.
Right. And now, Coach Spradlin, I'm going to touch into your area a little bit. We always think of the linebackers as the second line of defense, which they basically are whenever you step on a football field. Practicing this week against the Scout China Springs offense, how are your linebackers handling their responsibilities? Because like Coach Ncaa said, number 2, he does use his legs a lot to make a lot of stuff happen. How are your linebackers looking in practice this week, keeping with the scheme to try to slow down that China Springs offense?
Well, for them, I mean, they're mainly run responsibility guys anyway, right? So for them, I mean, I know one of my seniors, he's kind of looking forward to it because number 2 does like to use his legs a lot, and I don't know of a linebacker that doesn't like hitting the quarterback. So basically with that scout team, I mean, we're just sticking with our responsibilities. We're fit and fast because we know he likes to try and get out there fast. And we're making sure we're scraping the right way, so if he tries to get outside, we can pursue, and we'll be right there when they turn him back inside to us.
And one thing that we have beginning to notice the last 2 or 3 games is your linebackers are starting to gain more confidence in running downhill and really forcing the play. And that's great to see, you know, as the games go on, more confidence builds up, which that's great going into district play soon here in about 2 games. How do you feel that the defense is starting to really feed into what y'all's defensive scheme has been so far?
There's definitely buying in, and it's kind of one of those things that, you know, I remember playing for, when I was in high school, playing for a new coach. I had known the head coach of my high school for a long time, and then all of a sudden, new guy. And so it's kind of always one of those things where, you know, kids are gonna kind of look and see what happens, you know, from the outside, and then once they see what's going on, they're gonna buy in. I mean, kids are starting to realize, hey, this defense works if we execute our jobs, right? I had linebackers down when we played Navasota. They're come down there spilling power, and things were starting to go really well for us stopping the run there. And it's kind of one of those things that once you see them buy in, you can start seeing the confidence that you were talking about, and you're starting to see it from every position, not just the linebackers.
All right, going into Friday night against the China Spring Cougar, Coach, we've been kind of keeping an eye on the offensive line a little bit. As we saw, it looked like Navasota was kind of more geared to stopping the run, taking that away from the Black Cats. But whenever my head would drop out into a quick out, it seemed like the offensive line was giving your quarterback a little bit more time to execute that play. How much more confidence is your offensive line and your offense starting to gain that confidence, knowing that they can put points up on the board as long as, you know, the offense has time to execute these plays?
Right. No, we had the ability to be really, really explosive and score in a hurry, whether it's in the run game or the pass game. You know, those guys are young up front. You know, at times we have 2 freshmen out there, sometimes just 1. You know, we got a couple. We don't have a senior on the offensive line. You know, sometimes it happens really fast for those young guys, and sometimes they pick it up really quick. I thought overall pass pro against Navasota was good. We had clean pockets to throw the ball. We had time to throw the ball. You know, we probably threw it a little more than we wanted to against Salado, just trying to get back in the ball game early. So, you know, you can kind of look at those numbers, and they're probably a little skewed, to be honest with you, from our normal mix. But we're also, you know, you're not going to sit there and try to pound a square peg in a round hole. If the defense is going to give you something, whether it's in the pass game or the run game, take it. You know what I mean? Like if there's a leverage or a numbers advantage, then take it. Whether that's a play that takes a little bit longer to develop and you got to have the pass pro for it to hold up, or if it's something in the run game, or, you know, like you said, the shorter, quick passes on the outside or to the inside receivers. But, you know, you see signs of it. You know, they're doing a good job. You know, it's not we look up and we go, man, we're grading the film and there's 27 missed assignments. You know what I mean? If that's the case, then we're probably running way too complicated of a scheme. You know what I'm saying? If you're having that many mental busts at this point of the season. But, you know, when we watched the film, that wasn't the case. So, you know, that's encouraging. They're only going to continue to get better, and playing the tougher competition, iron sharpens iron. And so, you know, some of those guys have kind of been thrown to the fire, and they're starting to harden a little bit, and that's good.
And, you know, that's one thing we usually touch up on whenever we've been facing these teams is the difference in the class of our opponents and us. You know, we're the younger team usually going out on the field, and you kind of saw that against Salado. I think Salado returned about 12 seniors this year, and you could tell the difference that right now it is like a little bit of a learning process for these kids, but they're getting an A+ just about every time that they've stepped on the field through our eyes. Now, I know y'all watch film and stuff and y'all grade them, but, you know, what we try to do is we look at the heart of these kids, and you can tell that these younger classmen do have these huge hearts. So, Coach Now and Coach Spradlin. There we go. I want to thank y'all for joining us tonight. Don't forget, Friday night, your Ncaa Black Cats against the China Spring Cougars here at Black Cat Field. Don't miss out. If you can't come live, go to YouTube and look up Ncaa Sports Network, or look on Facebook and you'll be able to find the feed. But Friday night at 7:30, come out, support your Black Cats against the China Spring Cougars. It's going to be another game for Ncaa Sports Network and Joe Fridays. I'd like to thank Coach Now and Coach Spradlin, but I just cannot get that land down. Coach Spradlin for joining us tonight. Don't forget, 7:30, Black Cat Field, Ncaa Black Cats against China Spring Cougars. See y'all there. And as we always like to say at the end of the feed, go Black Cats.
Go Black Cats.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Bahia Sports Network at Joe Fridays. We're here with a couple of your Black Cats. If you haven't been able to meet your Black Cats after a Friday night game, we have Mr. Nate Burns, Gage King, and Mr. DeAndre Sandals. I say you're okay. I just want to make sure I got that right. We're here to talk about a couple of things tonight, guys. It was a hard game Friday night. We went up against a good Salado Eagles team. It didn't turn out our way, but season ain't over. That's a good thing about these non-district games is we get to play and see what we can do and what we got and see what we can work on before district play starts. Mr. Burns, tell me your intake of how you felt that game Friday night probably could have been turned around a little bit.
I don't feel like we did too bad, but every time we did mess something up, they scored off of it, which was not good at all. And could have did some things better, but at the end of the day, that's still a good team. And we never gave up. Just part of our character in Bahia, Texas. Just not giving up no matter what the circumstances are given.
Now, Mr. King, I'm gonna tell you this: we've been calling your name a little bit more each Friday night. What's giving you that confidence that you can build on to know that you can go out there and make the impact that you're making each Friday night?
Well, so I've been in the weight room and I just noticed like I can judge off the ball. Like I hit them and then I notice like how much push I have against them and I know what I can do to make the play.
Now, Mr. Sandals, we know that you're that big body running back that you like to put in the backfield, but it just seemed like, Salado's defensive scheme, it just slowed us down with every possession that we had. Plus, you're on the defensive side of the ball, so I know you get to take some of that frustration out whenever you can't, carry the ball like you feel that you can. What aspect did you take away from the game Friday night against Salado?
I took away a lot. But defense, I think I could have done better.
It's a pretty good Eagles team, but we are the Black Cats and we do fight back and come back from adversity. We are going up against a good China Springs Cougars offensive team. Mr. Sandals, what's y'all's scheme so far, knowing that y'all can help slow down this Cougars team to give your Black Cat offense the opportunity to drive down the field and put some points on the board?
We can give off we can get the line to give off a good push now. We'll be good.
Now, Mr. King, what about you? What do you feel that you're taking away from practice this week against that scout offense that your scout offense is running from the Cougars? What are you getting? What key things are you kind of noticing that they might do more often?
I'm watching the formation and watching how versatile the quarterback is. Like he can throw and he can run with the ball. So I've been watching a little bit of his film and just knowing that he has both options to do that.
Mr. Burns, we see that you're lining up under the center and sometimes widen out as a receiver a little bit. What position do you like playing most? Is it quarterback or receiver?
Quarterback.
Quarterback. Why is that?
I feel like you have like more control, I guess. Not control, but like being liable. Like people can rely on you to handle business the entire game. Instead of like being a receiver, you get the ball probably 2 or 3 times. It's not that much, but like still.
So you kind of like Randy Moss. You want the ball?
No, I don't. I want the ball. So I want to make sure that the ball's in the right hands at all times. I'm not saying it's my hands. It's gonna be the right hands, but the quarterback knows who the right man should be to have the ball.
Right.
Passing it to running it to throwing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Now, as y'all are practicing against this scout defense this week, what are y'all noticing that their defense likes to try to take away from y'all's offense?
Probably the run game. Just about but that's mainly from watching film. Because just on our own time, we can watch film, pull up their film, see what they've been doing, and we could most of the time it's in 7 men, and then they'll fake a front and have 7 men on the down line, and they'll put men up, and Like they'll leave one over top. Just like watching film, stuff that you'll see every Friday night.
Now, Mr. Sanders, I know that you're eager to get that ball back in your hands to make something happen for your Mexicana Black Cats. How eager are you to get into the end zone against these Cougars to show them that Black Cats mean business?
I'm hungry for it.
You own it. Well, that's good to know. It's good to know that y'all are itching to get, back out there. You're not going to keep your heads down. You're going to keep fighting and scrapping as y'all do every Friday night. Now, as we are coming close to non-district play, our first district game is going to be against Van, which is a pretty good team this year. They're returning a lot of seniors. How much confidence, I want to hear from all three of y'all, how much confidence do y'all feel that y'all are taking from this non-district schedule, this hard non-district schedules y'all are playing, that y'all can incorporate positivity and the wins once district play starts?
I feel like that our team is going to do a lot better in district. I'm not saying the teams that we play in district are worse. I'm just saying that our team will have like more of a bond, and we'll be more confident in each other to depend on each other to do week in and week out things we should have been doing. And we're just getting better and better each week, although it might not see the scoreboard, it might not look like it, but we're still getting better, and we're coming together more and more as a team each week, doing better and better.
I think I think our defense will fire off the ball better because we know how each person fits to where they're supposed to be. And I think overall we're going to do a lot better because we know, like, hey, this person is going to run here. Hey, this person's going to go out for a pass here. And then we know who got who. So, like, we can have a lot more chemistry. So,
On offense, I feel like we're getting better and better every day. Getting a good push off people and stuff like that.
What about defense?
That too.
Okay. Now, it's not fair to me because during this part of the season of football, I like to talk about fat man weather, and which today was what I would consider fat man weather. So it's always good to ask as John Madden would say, the fat man, which are your offensive linemen. I guess one day I'll get somebody who's got some meat on their bones, but are y'all enjoying this cooler weather that's slowly coming here in Texas?
Yes, sir.
most definitely.
Next practice way funner.
Yeah.
Way funner.
Did y'all sweat any today?
A lot.
I mean, like, not as much as I have been. It's been beaming, and then today it just felt amazing.
The breeze was catching all our sweat and just having a good time out there, making practice fun.
Yeah, I was actually forced to walk out there at the state facility where I work today about 10 o'clock, and I walked around that whole campus. I was like, man, I didn't even sweat one bit.
Felt good.
It did. But it's good to see, the high spirits in this Black Cat team. As we all know, one question I like to ask is the kids that are playing Thursday night, your middle school kids, and the freshmen in JV, they're watching and seeing everything that y'all do. What do y'all feel that y'all are leaving so far in your legacy once y'all are graduated, that you're going to be able to leave for these upcoming Black Cats to continue to push on and be positive for the Black Cats in the future?
Work ethic.
Work ethic?
Yes, sir.
I'd say that, like, nothing's given to you. You gotta work for it, no matter who you are and how you look. And personally, I was a lineman my freshman year, and now I'm wearing number 4. So it was crazy.
I'm gonna say you keep grinding, keep pushing, get to where you want to be.
Like going with Dre, I mean, me and him were on JV last year. Like we weren't just starting on varsity like from jump. We had to work hard, put in consistent hours to get better. And like last year, I didn't even play offense. I just played defense. When I did finally get moved up to varsity, so it's like a real change in things from like big difference.
Now, that first Friday night, which you knew this from last year, that first Friday night home football game, when you ran out on the field and heard the band playing, did it get you more hot?
Yes, sir.
Did you feel more spirit
Most definitely, it's a different atmosphere out there.
Yeah, because I can tell you this, my first varsity game that I ran out on Cadet Field, I almost hyperventilated because I was so hyped. So I know how it feels. But I want to thank y'all gentlemen, Mr. Nate Burns, Mr. Gage Keene, and Mr. DeAndre Sandals. I want to thank y'all very much for coming. Friday night, Ncaa Black Cat Field. Come out and support your Black Cats. If you're not able to make it, go YouTube and look up Ncaa Sports Network. Go to Facebook, click on the link for Ncaa Sports Network. For Joe Fridays and Ncaa Sports Network, I want to say come out, support these young men, these Black Cats. Continue to stay positive, show them positivity, and they'll show you productivity. So come out, Ncaa versus China Springs Cougars, Friday night Black Cat Field. And as we always like to say at the end of the segment, go Black Cats.
Go Black Cats.
That become memories to last a lifetime. Brandy Garza at Photo Trappings Downtown Ncaa is here to capture all of your milestones and moments, offering newborn, children, seniors, family, and special occasion photography. Visit Photo Trappings on Facebook for all the latest specials and mini sessions. Photo Trappings, 115 East Commerce, Downtown Ncaa. Call or text 254-562-PICS.
Tonight's game is sponsored by Mexica Sports Network, Greer and Greer Mobile Detail, Woodman Life, Subway, Joe Fridays, Elizabeth C. Ferrari Realtor, and Big Drip Fashion Hall.
coaches segment as well as our player segment, led by James Deichler. I'm Wallace High, along with Vance Rose and Denora Sandals, here for this week's prediction show. We're going to start as usual with our high school predictions. Then we'll move on to our college and then NFL. Let's start getting on into it, guys. Again, I'm going to wait till later to call this one. So we'll jump down to our second game on our list. It'll be Eustis versus Tioga.
I'm going to take Eustis.
I'm going to take Eustis.
Well, I'm going to go with Tioga because I don't know where they at.
The name just sounds good.
That's why I went with Eustis, because I'm not sure where Tioga is either.
Except that northeast corner.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Yeah, I've been through there a couple times.
I'm not sure. The van's been everywhere.
Of course.
Yeah. Our next game is Tig going over to Hillsboro to take on the Eagles.
I'm gonna take Tig.
I'm going to take Hillsboro.
I know Tig's coming off that win Friday night, but I think it was just a needle found in a haystack. So I'm going to go with Hillsboro this game.
Yeah, I went with Hillsboro as well. Tig got him a big win last week, and maybe they'll be able to build off of that. But I know they've been a pretty solid team, so they're going to be home, so I'll give them the edge in this one. Next, we'll have Kemp taking on Ford High School.
I'm going to take Kemp.
I'm going to take Ford High School.
I'm taking Kemp because I don't know where Ford High School is at.
I just couldn't because the name, too.
We discussed that right before this. For some reason, I'm believing that it's in Quinlan Ford.
See, I think you're right.
But I took Kemp on this one as well. Our next game will be Malakoff Tigers taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I'm going to take Malakoff.
I'm going to take Malakoff.
Well, I'm going to go with the upset. Here. I know both teams are fighting to get back to where they was last year, but I don't know. I just have a feeling I might get one up on y'all.
Well, if you do, you'll get it up on everybody. I'm going Malakoff in this one. Malakoff's a solid team. They've been solid for a while. I know we got a little connection over in Pittsburgh right now. I think it'll be a tough one for them. Even though they will be in Pittsburgh, that'll give them a little home field advantage.
I don't think it's going to help.
Yeah. Well, another one that home field may not help at all either is Italy will be at home against Mark.
I'm going to have to go with Martin.
Well, I'm going with Martin, too.
I think this is a game that we should automatically say, well, everyone's going Mark.
Yeah, I don't know. No matter if Mark's on the road or at home, they're on the road this week, and I still think they'll have the advantage in this one. Coming a little bit closer back our way, the Wortham Bulldogs will go over to take on the Marlin Bulldogs.
Bulldog.
I'm going to take Wortham.
I'm taking Wortham, too.
That's Wortham times 3.
Well, I might get a game on y'all, because I'm going to go Marlin in this one. Marlin's played some good football this year.
They have. Yeah, I think they're on the verge of rebuilding that.
They gave up a big lead last week. Ended up falling in that game, but if they can get it together and they can play 4 full quarters, they're going to be very dangerous and real scary over there for some of those teams in that district that they're in.
That's hard to believe that Marlin used to be in our district and Wortham's district.
Right. Next up, we have Kearns versus Chilton.
I'm going to take Chilton.
I'm going to take Kearns.
I'm going to go with Chilton.
I'm going Chilton in this one also. So, Nino, you
one
the odd man out.
Yeah.
So you get one up on this also. And then our next game will be Centerville at home against Bremond.
I'm going to take Centerville.
I got Centerville.
I got Bremond. I'm taking the Bremond.
I am taking the Centerville Tigers in this one. We'll see how it plays out. Might probably going to be a good one over there.
Yeah.
But I think Centerville may have a little bit of home I ain't gonna say
Home
home cooking.
cooking.
I ain't gonna say home cooking because that's usually a bad thing.
Yeah.
They'll have a little home field advantage in this one. And then we'll go over to Hubbard as they'll be at home against Dawson. That little 8-mile separation between those two towns.
I'm gonna take Dawson.
I'm gonna take Hubbard.
I'm going with Hubbard.
I'm going Hubbard as well.
Maybe I'll get one.
Maybe Vance will get one up on us. Or either we'll all get one up on you.
Yeah.
Next, we're moving to our 6-man ranks, or our 1A division games. And again, Abbott's taking on a non-UIL opponent. I'm not sure who that opponent is.
I'm gonna pick out.
I'm going with the non-UIL.
You just gonna throw it out there,
Yeah, I'm going
whoever it is.
Whoever it is.
Well, I'm going to pick Abbott on this one. I think that non-UIL team, they're on the verge of building something, but I don't know what it is.
And I'm going to go Abbott in this one as well just because I don't know who they're playing. Next, we're in the same boat as Aquila taking on a non-UIL opponent.
I'm gonna go with Aquila.
I'm going non-UIL again.
Hey, we might get another one up on Dino, or he
Yeah.
might get two up on
I might get 2 up on y'all.
I went with Aquila as well. Next, our neighbors over in Coolidge, the Yellow Jackets, will be taking on Avalon.
I'm gonna take Coolidge.
I got Coolidge.
I'm going Avalon. I'm looking for the upset.
Oh, well, I'm going Coolidge. So I think the Yellow Jackets will pull that one out. Next, we move over to Penelope as they travel to Event.
I'm gonna take Penelope.
I'm taking Event.
I'm going with Event as well.
Well, I circled Penelope on mine, so two
got
of us
time.
will be right,
Yeah.
two of us will be wrong. Next, we'll have Golson versus Blanket.
Golson. Taking Golson.
I'm taking Blanket.
I'm going Blanket as well.
Well, I don't know what Blanket has.
It just sounds like
I know.
school called Blanket.
I don't know what they have, so I circled Golson to get the win. Now, they may get over there and get blanketed. But I'm not sure. But I'm going to go with Golson in this one. Our next few choices, we're going to go to our weekly special prediction before we get into our district picks. As Freddie looks very eager to give his prediction in this game, the Grosbeck Goats will be traveling to Normandy this week. Freddie, you want to tell us what you got for the game?
Do I need to come up front, or do I just need to sit back here?
We can't hear you from back there. So
Well, I come on up front.
You have on the headset. You can hear us. We can't hear you.
My weekly prediction is I got Grosbeck 60.
Turn around. We don't count.
Who we playing?
Normandy.
I got Grosbeck 60, Normandy 7. 60 to 7.
Oh, you don't let them score again
Yeah,
this week.
60 to 7.
Oh, okay. So Freddie is going Grosbeck for the win, 60 to 7.
I tell you what, Grosbeck should be the highest scoring team in the state of Texas.
According to Brady.
According to Freddie, you listen to
They score
Freddie.
60 every week.
Every week is 60.
Oh no, he must be losing faith in the defense though because
They're letting them score.
first they were 0. Now they give him
It's the
he's letting
7.
them score.
Yeah.
Injuries.
So, what do you have for this one? You taking Grosbeck?
I'm taking Grosbeck too.
Okay, I know that Freddie's got high hopes after that win Friday night because he marked 60 to 7 on my piece of paper. But I'm going Normandy, 60 to 7.
Okay.
James might have to do something extra next week.
Yeah, something extra.
He said, "You're fired."
I circled Grosbeck on my paper. They played some pretty good football so far this season.
They have.
They took a hard loss last week or the week before to the Academy. The week before the Academy, but I think they'll be able to put it together and hopefully come out with a win against Normandy. Now moving into some of our district action, we have the Kent Eagles going over to take on Ferris.
I'm gonna take Kent.
I'm taking Ken.
It was hard. It's gonna be a good game, but I'm gonna go with Canton as well.
I took Canton also. So we finally, this is one of the few we've had today where we all showing the same.
Yeah.
Next up, we'll have the Vandals going over to take on the Center Rough Riders.
This ought to be a good game, but I'm going to go with Van.
I'm going Center.
That's how we know it's a good game because I circled Center first, but I'm going with Van.
And it took me a long time to circle either one on my paper. I think it's going to be a very good game. I circled Van because they're our district mate. That was the edge they got from me. But believe me, I would not be surprised if this game went the other way and Center won.
Yeah.
I know Center's got a good
Especially
team over
Center,
there as well. Yeah, it's in Center. So moving on down in our district, we have the Bullard Panthers going over to take on Spring Hill.
I'm going to go with Spring Hill.
I'm going with Bullard.
I'm gonna go Bullard.
I circled Spring Hill on my paper. I don't know how good Spring Hill is.
It's going to be a close game.
I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, it'll be close. They're both down this year.
Yeah, I know Bullard's been down. Spring Hill got the advantage for me because they're the home team.
Yeah.
But I do usually try to root for our district mates, so I'm hoping that Bullard can go over and maybe pull one off and get a win over in Spring Hill. And then next up, Brownsboro will be home taking on Rusk.
I'm going to have to go with Russ Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going with Russ too.
I'm going with Rusk Eagles.
And I'm going to make it a clean sweep. Go with Rusk in this
The
one.
one we ain't going.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to debate or argue that it's probably a good prediction. Russ can put up quite a few points
Yeah, they can.
fairly quickly with that high-powered offense they have over there. And, I think it may just be a little too much for Brownsboro. And finally, to the big game of the week in our high school predictions, it'll be the Maham Black Cats at home against the China Spring Cougars.
I'm going to take the Black Cats.
I got the Black Cats.
Black Cats times 3.
And we, as always, make it a clean sweep with the Black Cats. One funny thing about this, as I'm looking at it, I have a couple friends over there that are closely tied to the China Spring football team and department, and they are quick to always tell me there is not an S at the end of spring in China Spring. So I make it a point to make sure that I don't say springs. I say spring. It is not plural, it's singular. So we'll roll. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back to start our college portion of our prediction show after a quick word from our sponsors.
listening to Black Cat Football and Greer Time Media. Let's take it to the booth with your host, Freddie Greer Sr.
And we're back here with our Week 5 prediction show from Joe Friday's Diners, the Head Sports Network, Wallace High, Vance Rose, Denora Sandals, and James Deichler. We moved up to our college prediction segment, and Vance, he did our predictions this week, our games. We're going to start with the top 10 first.
Okay.
So starting with the top 10 for NCAA football, number 1 Alabama takes on Southern Miss.
Got to be Alabama.
Alabama.
You know, Alabama almost had my prediction right last week. Just missed by a couple points, but I'm still going with Alabama.
Roll Tide roll. I think we're gonna all go Alabama in this one. I don't see an upset brewing.
I figure the number 2 team we all going to be 4-0 playing.
Yeah. Georgia will take on Vanderbilt. Vance has already said he's taking Georgia.
I got Georgia.
Georgia
is on everybody's mind.
Always on my mind.
Put all our winners on one side already.
The number 3 Oregon will be taking on Arizona.
Taking Oregon.
I got Oregon.
Oregon.
And after I seen the way Oregon played the last couple of weeks, I'm going Oregon in this one. Next, we got number 4, Oklahoma taking on West Virginia.
Oklahoma Sooners.
Oklahoma.
That's Brad's team.
Yeah,
he left.
He walked out.
He's a busy man. He probably had a phone call or something to tell him.
I guess he knew that we all were going to go with Oklahoma, so.
Yeah, we may have to bring it back up to him when he comes back in. You know, he kind of threw a fit with us because we didn't put him on the prediction sheet a couple of weeks ago, and now we put him on, and he doesn't even want to stay in and talk about it. Next, we'll have number 5, Iowa, taking on Colorado State.
I'm going to take Iowa.
I'm taking Iowa.
I'm going with the Hawks.
Yeah, me as well. We'll make it a clean sweep. Oh, look at him.
Now he's back.
You walked out and missed it.
Oklahoma.
We talked about your Sooners today.
It don't matter. They're going to win 60-7, right?
I'm going to say 60-21.
60-21.
60-21.
You don't have that much confidence.
No. Maybe it's college. You feel like they can score more points or something. But he been stuck on this 60 no matter.
They sit the players down at halftime.
Oh, okay. Think they'll be up big enough for them to sit players down at halftime? Oh, okay. We'll jump down to number 6, Penn State taking on Villanova.
I'm going to take Penn State.
I'm taking Penn State.
I'm rolling with Penn.
Yeah, if it was basketball, it might be a different story. I'm going with Penn State in this one. Next, probably one of the biggest matchups this week in our top 10 will be the Texas A&M Aggies taking on the Arkansas Razorbacks.
I'm going to take A&M.
I got the upset over here. I'm taking Arkansas.
See, I wanted to go Arkansas after what
football.
they did to Texas, but A&M got a little bit better offense, a little bit better defense than Texas does, so I'm going to go A&M.
Well, I circled A&M as well, but I watched Arkansas play Texas, and I watched them play last week, and they look like they playing some really good football right now. And believe me, I would not be surprised if Arkansas knocks off the Aggies in this one.
I'm going to be watching that game.
Yeah. We'll jump down to number 9, Clemson. They had a big fall this week from being ranked up high down to number 9. And they're taking on North Carolina State.
I'm going to go with Clemson. They're going to get together.
They're going to get it together.
I'm taking Clemson.
I am too. I think they'll come back with some fury.
Yeah. I took Clemson in this one as well. I think, like everyone else is saying, I think they'll bounce back. And next, another one that took a big fall after a loss a couple weeks ago, the Ohio State Buckeyes are taking on Akron.
I'm going to take Ohio State.
I'm taking Ohio State.
I'm going to go with Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm going with Ohio State in this one as well. I I don't think Akron will be able to handle them in the in-state rivalry there. We'll roll right into our NFL segment. I'm sorry. Look, I'm giving Freddie a hard time about forgetting him. I was wondering why we finished so quick. It's because I left off a whole section. Moving to our I gotta get it together. Moving into our Big 12 matchup for the week. The Baylor Bears are taking on the Iowa State Cyclones.
I'm gonna take Iowa State.
I'm taking Iowa State.
Yeah, sorry, Wallace. I'm going to Iowa State.
It's okay. I can get a game up on everybody. I'm going with my Baylor Bears. You know, just like Freddie thinks his Sooners going to beat everybody 60 to something. And my Bears, they going to get it together. And we're going to have a good showing this week.
Are they going to score 60?
I'm not saying we're going to score 60.
Maybe half of that, huh?
Hopefully. And hopefully the other team doesn't score as much.
Less.
Yep. And hopefully I get to go tailgate a little bit this week. Next up, we'll have the Texas Longhorns taking on the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Longhorns.
I got the Longhorns.
You know what? I'm going for the upset. I had Texas circled, but I still ain't got over what Arkansas did to them, man.
Well, I'm going with the Longhorns in this one. Our third matchup in the Big 12 will be the TCU Horned Frogs versus SMU Mustangs.
SMU.
TCU.
Man, this is another one that I think is going to be really good. It was a hard one to choose.
Battle of the acronyms.
Yeah, I did go with TCU in this one. However, this is a rivalry game. SMU was playing some good football this year as they have been playing. So I could see this game going either way. But I did circle TCU on this one. So Dino might be able to get a game up on us one. I wouldn't be surprised if you did though, Dino. Next up, well, we've already done that one, so we'll move down to the Oklahoma State Cowboys versus the Kansas State Wildcats.
I'm going to take Oklahoma State.
I'm taking Oklahoma State.
Same, Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I'm taking Oklahoma State in this one as well. Our last Big 12 game of the segment is the Kansas Jayhawks taking on the Duke Blue Devils.
I'm going to take Duke. Even in basketball.
I cannot pick Duke in nothing. I do not like. I'm a Carolina Tar Heel fan, and I'm picking Kansas.
Well, I know Mike Krzyzewski ain't coaching this team, but I'm still picking them to win.
Yeah, I went with Duke as well. I think it'd be a really good matchup if we were on the hardwood, but I don't know about on the football field, so I'm going with Duke in this one. Even though Dino can't pick them.
Can't pick them.
And our producer has left the building again, so we'll roll on over into our NFL segment as the Carolina Panthers will be taking on the Houston Texans. Vance kind of tricked me on this one at first. I was like, Ray got Navarro on here. NC on here. But it'll be Carolina Panthers versus the Texans. Who you got, man?
I'm going to take Houston.
I'm going to take the Panthers.
I'm going with the Panthers.
I'm going with the Panthers as well. Houston's kind of up and down on
Yeah.
this.
And Tyrod Taylor got hurt.
Yeah, the
Right.
quarterback was really hurt.
The quarterback.
Yeah. And Panthers have looked pretty good so far this season. So
Yeah, they're coming 0.
yeah. So I'm rolling with them. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs. Got to go with
I'm
them.
going with them Chiefs.
KC here.
And I'm going with the Chiefs as well, man. Like I always say, can't go against Pat Mahomes.
Sure
Plus,
can.
I need him to give me a lot of points. In fantasy football. Next up, Vance with Phoenix. Thought we were watching the Suns, but it's going to be Arizona Cardinals versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm going with Arizona.
I'm going with Arizona.
I'm going with Phoenix.
I'm going with Arizona as well. The Chicago Bears will be going over to take on the Cleveland Browns.
Taking Cleveland.
I'm taking Chicago. Cleveland don't have no receivers. Landry hurt. Odell Beckham out.
Yeah, but Cleveland don't have the wind, so I'm going with Cleveland.
Yeah. I'm kind of like Dino. Cleveland doesn't have any receivers, but I don't know which quarterback the Chicago's going to play.
Yeah.
So I circle Cleveland. If I would know exactly who was playing, I would have a better prediction. But I'm going to go with Cleveland. I know who's going to be playing quarterback. I think it's going to end up being a defensive battle in this game. Both of them have really stout
Real
defenses.
good defense.
Next, the Washington football team takes on the Buffalo Bills.
Take Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Isn't that how the old saying goes? So we all took the Bills in this one. We'll have the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Tennessee Titans.
I'm going to take Tennessee.
I'm taking them Titans.
I'm going with Tennessee, watching Derrick Henry run that ball.
Hey, he hooked me up on fantasy.
Hey, me too. Ooh-wee. It was kind of shaky at first.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Derek.
Yeah, if Derrick Henry can run the ball like that again this week, it'll be a big win.
That was the Derrick Henry I was used to watching.
Yeah. Julio didn't do too bad either.
No.
The New Orleans Saints take on the New England Patriots.
I'm taking New Orleans.
Taking the Saints.
You know what? I ain't circled hardly none of these, but I'm gonna go with the Saints.
Well, if Vance has them on the paper the right way, they'll be in Foxborough, and the Saints had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
They do.
So I'm going to go with New England in this one. Belichick and all that he can do in Foxborough, I think it'll give them hope. Maybe they'll be able to pull this one out. Next, we'll have the Atlanta Falcons versus the New York Giants.
I'm going to take the Giants.
I'm taking the Giants.
I'm taking the Falcons.
I'm taking the Giants.
He said Falcons.
I don't know if James has seen the Falcons play this season.
I have seen them play.
That defense is 26 or something.
But you know what? So is the Cowboys, and I still have faith in the Cowboys. And I can't stand the Giants like Dino can't stand the Blue Devils.
Oh, man. Moving down, we'll have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm going with Cincinnati.
I'm going Pittsburgh.
I'm going Cincinnati in this one as well. So we'll be 2-2.
Yeah.
Let's see who wins, who gets it right. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Detroit Lions.
I'll take Baltimore.
I'm going with Baltimore.
Baltimore is my pick as well. Yeah, that was kind of the way they played so far. It was a really easy pick. The New York Jets taking on the Denver Broncos.
I'm going to try Denver.
I'm going with them.